Okay, so for my business proposal, I called it the Customer Satisfaction Initiative when lagging up is policy. Now we're referring to Best Buy and Geek Squad, mainly Geek Squad where I currently work. Geek Squad is a well-known business around the world and they generate a large client base because of this. Most of the time when people think I need a new piece of technology or I need to get something fixed, Best Buy is one of the first places they think of. This creates high expectations from our clients, so they expect us to be able to fix it quickly because we're a Fortune 500 company, and they also expect it to be high quality work. Now the problem is that they have the lack of necessary tools and resources to be able to effectively do this 100% of the time, and this creates bad customer experiences. So why clients come to Geek Squad, there's a handful of reasons. One is our total tech support. So we have a plan that's called Total Tech Support that is an annual plan that provides 24/7 technical support and software protection. So if you ever need a data backup, you ever need a virus removal, you ever need a PC tune-up or anything like that, that's the plan to get, and it covers all your devices, as well as it also gives you a range of discounts on things and different repairs in store. You got your Geek Squad protection plans, which is your hardware protection. That's going to protect things like your hard drives. If you crack a screen on your computer, anything like that, it'll cover it as long as it's within that warranty period. We also have brand name relationships. So you got HP, you got Lenovo, you got Samsung, all of them. And all of they have their own sections in the store, and those sections are used for educating clients on their products, as well as giving them, being able to sell them directly. We have locations all around the world, so lots of different places have a Best Buy somewhere nearby them, so it's really easy to access. And we also have a very large amount of knowledgeable staffing on both the products themselves and the repairs that are involved with them. Now, these are the job duties, so we're going to go over the four main positions at Geek Squad. So you got your consultation agents. They handle the client appointments and the check-ins up front. They're the front-facing employees of Geek Squad. They also handle the functionality checks, which is every single return in store goes through Geek Squad to be processed, tested, and then put back out on the sales floor. And this is a really lengthy process. You got your green and yellow communication, which is your anything that is finished being repaired that people need to be informed of or set up an appointment to come and pick it up if they wanted to go over the work that was done. They're called every day, as well as the yellow communication, which is the people that are, or the repairs that are waiting client information. So like if we needed a password in order to continue, if there was anything else that they needed, that sort of thing. They also handle shipping and receiving, so anything that we need to ship out for repairs or anything that we need to receive from the repair center, they handle that. You got your Al for service queue and Apple repair communication. Essentially, those are anything that was sent out of the store to either Apple or our service center to be repaired. We call them daily with updates to let them know what's going on as long as their status changes. And then they're also expected to meet a revenue goal. So any services they sell, they have to record those sales and try to meet a goal every day. Advanced repair agents, we are the ones, that is my current position. We repair computers and phones in the back. We call those clients daily with status updates. So during the repair, we call them to let them know what's going on with it, as well as we handle all the Apple receiving. So anything that gets sent back to us from Apple, whether that's parts for repairs or repairs that Apple did themselves. Those are all done by advanced repair agents. We also update the communication boards. So our communication boards are the statistics of the company. So we go ahead and we check out where we are in our market, what our numbers are compared to theirs, how we can improve, that sort of thing. And then we're expected to meet labor goals. So one of the cool things about Geek Squad is we generate our own hours. So depending on what we do on a repair, for instance, each of those things are worth a certain amount of minutes, and then those minutes added up at the end of the week are what our hours are for the following week. Now, both of these positions, CIA Senior and Geek Squad Manager, they both have exactly the same job duties. It's just that the Geek Squad Manager spends about 70% of their time in the entire store and not in Geek Squad. They're both responsible for managing and supervising, so they're the ones that are, making sure everybody's doing what they got to do. They create the schedules for everybody, enforce those policies and procedures, nobody's showing up out of uniform, that sort of thing. They deal with the elevated client issues. Anytime somebody requests a manager, either of these two would do. And then they also assist all departments with managerial needs, price overrides, that sort of thing. Now, what leads to our success is that we have plenty of data that tells us how we need to improve. And we get that data from our daily client survey. So every time we finish a repair, it sends a survey to a client, and then that client is able to let us know what they liked and what they didn't like about the process so we can try to improve later. We also have no lines, so it's all appointment system. People try to come in as walk-ins all the time at high volume stores like the one that I work at. It's just not possible. We got to schedule that time. Prevents you from waiting for hours, and it allows us to make sure that we have the staffing there if necessary. We have multiple locations all around the world, so you can find one just about anywhere. We provide 24/7 support, especially if you have one of those plans. You can call our technical support line at any point in time. They can even remotely access your computer and fix it from where you're at. And then we have different device coverage options like those Geek Squad protection plans and extended warranties, so you're not paying extra stuff whenever something goes wrong. And we have plenty of expertise in those subjects. Now, what could guarantee our success, rather, is to extend our appointments from 20 minutes to 30. So right now, our appointments are 20 minutes apiece. There's no cushion in between, so really it turns into a 15-minute appointment. So you're rushing these clients to, in 15 minutes, tell you everything that's wrong with their computer, or you're supposed to teach them something about using their computer within that 15 minutes. If we extend it to 30 minutes, that gives them a little more time to talk about what's going on with their computer, so we can get the paperwork, everything we need on the paperwork better, and more clarity to it. As well as anybody that's coming in for educational purposes will benefit from that extra 10 minutes. Doing hardware repairs in store is a must, because right now what we're doing is anytime there's something wrong with somebody's computer that requires a replacement of a part, we have to send it to our service center in Louisville, Kentucky, and it takes 2 weeks, which is obviously a lot for somebody with a piece of technology they depend on. And the reason why that is because after the Note 6 situation where the batteries are blowing up, they made a law that doesn't allow you to send lithium-ion batteries on planes, which is about 90% of products. This makes it take a really long time, so when people come in for things that have to do with hardware, they're not happy about that. We also need to utilize our daily tasking hours. So our daily tasking hours are they're a pool of generated labor that's specifically for somebody to come in and not work up front or in the back on repairs, but to be working on those functionality checks I mentioned before, testing all of those things, making sure that shipping, receiving gets done, all those phone calls, so on and so forth. They created this pool, but nobody's able to even use them because there isn't enough. They've used all their hours that are up at the front, and then they can't use those because technically that's still using hours, and then it becomes like a whole thing. We got to do the FIFO system. If you've ever worked in retail before, you know what FIFO means. It means first in, first out. That just means the first computer that's dropped off for repair, you need to fix that one, or at least focus on it first before moving on to the next one. And then we need to validate the tasks are being finished. So on our daily tasking list, we have, the shipping, receiving. You got your phone calls you got to make. You got your functionality checks. You got all of those things need to be validated that they're being finished every day, because if not, it's just a domino effect, and it just keeps stacking on top of each other until it tumbles. Now, the benefits of this are repairs are done quicker for very obvious reasons. If you're working on the things that are in there first and you are focusing on those things, and they're going to be done quicker and more efficiently. Daily tasks will be finished more efficiently because if they're being validated, that means that people will have to get them done. They'll feel a little bit of pressure to actually get those things done and go from there. You got less unhappy clients. So, for obvious reasons, if your repair is done quicker, that makes a happier client, which means more positive feedback, which is there at the bottom, as well as we would get more service plan purchases because people within those 30-minute appointments and also just being happier with our services would feel more inclined to get those service plans, which we lean on so heavily. Now the risks, we would have less appointments in the store at a time unless we increase the number of employees that were there at a time to open more resources for appointments. So, which could also, but more employees means more expenses. Essentially, if you change it to 30-minute appointments, there's only two sections of 30 minutes for every hour. So if we had an appointment every 20 minutes for each agent that was there, and we have 3 agents, you're obviously going to see slightly less appointments, which could mean less sales. So the only way to fix that is to add extra employees to be there to open up extra appointments during those 30-minute time periods. Now, lagniappe, as I mentioned before, means a little something extra. And now, one of the ways that we do that, and it's one of our mottos to provide lagniappe with all of our repairs and all of our services, to just give a little something extra, whether that's cleaning the computer or just showing somebody like a quick and easy way to do something. One of the ways that we've shown success with that lifestyle is with Hubert Jolie. So back in 2008 to 2012, Best Buy almost closed down. The Circuit City closed down, Radio Shack closed down, Best Buy was on its way to close down, and they decided, hey, we need to do something to make things different, to make this a better experience for people. What do we do? So what they did is they hired a man named Hubert Jolie. He is the current CEO of the company, and what he did was prove that good client experiences create good business. And the way that he was able to do that is he shifted the entire company from being a sales company and selling their products to providing services and good experiences. One of the ways that he was able to do that was he made the employees' bonuses not be based off of how many sales they made, but be based off of how much positive feedback they would get in their surveys. Which obviously pushes the employees to giving a better client experience instead of just trying to sell something to them. This increased employee morale, and it increases employee morale for obvious reasons. You got happier clients. They are doing something that's fulfilling, that sort of thing, and then that also leads to lower client frustrations. If we can just focus on these key aspects, Best Buy could be really a really great company. It's just going to need a little something extra.